You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 203 for the 1st of April 2018.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place that dreams begin. Hi Jayne, how are you?
I'm very well, Michelle. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, 1st of April, wow!
I'm going to say Happy Easter and Happy April Fool's Day. All in one. That seems a bit innocuous somehow.
I know. I was talking to my good buddies from the Avengers the other day and they were sort of saying, is anyone planning on doing an April Fool's joke? Now, can you remember the last April Fool's joke we did on the podcast?
I can't. No, my memory's appalling. Sorry.
We released some news with Big Fat Panda, a.k.a. John Sakari, saying that Gordon Ramsay was going to be opening a burger bar in Disney Springs.
I do remember now, yes.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, we won't bother with that this year, shall we?
Nah. We've just got far too much going on. We've got a crammed show with so much content. It's oozing out over the sides. So, let's get cracking on with it.
Okay, my dear.
And hope you all enjoy the show. So firstly, I'd like to kick off with a big thank you to some people who have left us some iTunes reviews.
Ooh.
So Jonesy 1177, Settler Settler, which I'm not quite sure if I said that right. So it's CETACEALVR, Geeking on WDW, and A Train 74 have all left us lovely 5-star reviews.
Oh, thank you.
If you haven't left us a review, why don't you? Really simple. Go to iTunes, search Disney Dream Girls, write a review. It really does help other people find our podcast. And for some reason, the more people that review you, the higher you go up in the iTunes charts.
That's peculiar, isn't it? And it makes us happy, Michelle, as well, doesn't it? Brings a smile to our face.
Well, it definitely does. Especially when there's so much competition within the Disney podcasting. And it would be nice to get a couple more good reviews because we've had a few that haven't been so great. So, if people want to get in touch with us in the usual manner, you can drop us a question. info@disneydreamgirls.com, Twitter @DisDreamGirls, Instagram Disney_dream_girls, and then we have our little old Facebook page by searching Disney Dream Girls and giving us a like. Now we could spend the whole show talking about what news has gone on, Jayne, because I don't know if you've been looking on the old tinterwebs recently. Oh my word.
Well, I must admit, I've seen bits and bobs flying past my little Facebooky, Twittery feed type thing, and I've been so busy with work, I have to admit, I will put my hand up and confess that I've not been as Disney-fied as I really ought to be and keeping a track of it, because you start to scroll through and you think, oh my goodness, I just really cannot keep up with all of this at the moment.
Well, let me just give you a quick catch-up then.
Okay.
So, Citrus Swirl went away and came back again.
What's all that about?
Everywhere's getting Marvel.
Yes.
Pixar Pier cast member outfits were revealed and they made me chuckle because it looks like the Disney bounding of Snow White.
Yes, I did see that one actually, yeah.
So I'm just going to chuckle when I see them. They started cutting down trees for the Tron coaster.
Ooh, okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean had the new redhead scene, which is very different.
Yes, I must admit I've not watched that yet. I don't know whether I'm going to or not, to be fair.
I've seen pictures and I've heard reviews and seen reviews, and we discussed it on the Avengers, and I think the jury for me will be out. The whole discussion as when something becomes socially unacceptable, will Disney cull it? Things such as It's a Small World, Carousel of Progress, will these classics just get culled and changed?
It is a peculiar thing to handle, and I don't envy the person or the team that's having to look at these things, actually, because I think there's that old adage of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Exactly. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party dates were released, and shock oh shock, the prices went up.
Oh no, that's a surprise.
I know. It looks to me that Mickey's Not So Scary, because I'm obviously planning on going, has gone up by about $10 on some nights.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's inevitability, isn't it? These things do tend to go up from year to year. So, and I suppose the more they put on, because it seems to be getting, I don't know, it happening for longer and longer nowadays, that more cost to cover. I don't know.
Well, the first night this year is the 17th of August, which I kind of predicted because I looked at the park closing time for Magic Kingdom for that day, and it said it was 6 o'clock. So you kind of sort of think,
Yeah, and I have to say, as much as that's a benefit to us Brits going over, because that's a very popular time, and as we've said before, Michelle, yeah, and as I say, you will be there as well. That's time of year. It's the time of year that I would choose to go because it fits in with my work and everything. But it does feel an awfully lot early to be celebrating Halloween.
It does, 17th of August.
That's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. To me, autumn, cold weather, rain, drizzle, maybe some frost on the ground, not sweltering hot, sweaty August, humid heat.
September, I kind of give them a bit of a leeway with, but August, I really don't know.
Yeah. But, don't worry. I'll be taking my extra suitcase and I'll just fill it up with candy. Moving on, Disney history. We have our lovely Ciaran, who just turned 18 the other week. Woohoo!
Yay!
Let's hear what he's found for us on this week in Disney history.
Oh.
And welcome to the new episode of Ciaran History. Everyone loves an Easter parade. Well, on this day in 1956, Disneyland held its first Easter parade, and guests will have seen it parade down Main Street, USA. Also, on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, in 1973, Walt Disney World raised the cost of admission for the second time since its 1971 opening. Admission then cost went a bit British there, $3.75, and it was raised to $4.50. So, sorry, I started thinking of the rapper. As you will remember, everyone then paid an admission price, then bought attraction tickets to be able to ride on the attractions. A set then of 8 cost 35 cents. Third and final event for this day is in 1995, Blizzard Beach opened. This water park is a winter wonderland and was the third water park opened by the Disney Company, River Country and Typhoon Lagoon being the first two. Moving on to the 2nd of April, 1984, Disneyland Tokyo, just under 1 year of opening, welcomed its 10 millionth park guest. Over to 2016 and lights, camera, action had its final performance in Disney Hollywood Studios. Last but not least, on the 5th of April 1938, we all know where this is going, the feature film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was released in Canada. You really are scraping to the bottom of the barrel at this point, aren't you? Well, that was me. I don't even know if I said the words correctly. Goodbye. I really am, she was bringing up a good point about how I'm getting really cheeky on these. I'm sorry, but, it's what you gotta do in life, I think. Goodbye.
I must admit that feature's gone down really well. I've had quite a lot of really lovely emails from people, being really positive about, Ciaran's facts and everything. And I suppose it makes you sort of sit back and wonder and think, wow, did that happen so long ago? Or, ooh.
Yeah, well, I think it's good to remind ourselves of the legacy that we have now and where it's all come from, and things that did work, things that didn't work, and what's led us to where we are today. So I think it's always prudent to look back, and it is that thing of sometimes you go, really, that was that long ago? How old do I feel now?
I know, staggeroony. We've got a cracking few features ahead, and I think the first one just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, because we all know how fun it is to meet up with our friends when we're in the theme park. And I know a few people have already emailed me and said, oh, Michelle, you're going to be in the parks in August. How about meeting up? Because I'll be there too. And I was thinking, well, what if one of our best buddies was a Disney character from one of the many Disney films and franchises? And they sort of messaged us and tweeted us, hey Jayne, going to be hanging out in the Magic Kingdom on blah 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 day. What would you want to do with them?
Oh.
Now I'm going to set a rule.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
Because it's got to have rules and boundaries, I'm sorry.
Right.
But if it has an attraction based on the particular film franchise the person is from,
right,
then you can't go on it.
Obviously, yes, that's a given.
Yeah. Now I'm going to kick off because everybody knows that I will be, meeting up with Snow White, and it's like, well, where would I take this lover of dwarfs? Well, basically for me, it would be Carousel of Progress, because I think it'd be nice to see that, technology has evolved. She no longer has to rely on woodland creatures to do the washing because she can see what's evolved through the carousel. And she can spend more time out of the kitchen, more time shopping with the money the dwarfs have got stashed in the mine.
That's a very good point. I think she would like that, to see how the evolution of home life has happened.
We can go spend a little bit of that dwarf money. And, we will obviously be able to buy Club 33 membership at $33,000 and $15,000 a year fee. She'd have no problem with that. So we'll be obviously having drinks and little snackettes at the Club 33 over in Walt Disney World.
Yeah, and dripping in diamonds, I would imagine.
Well, dripping in Pandora, because I'm going to be buying all the new charms.
Oh, that's a whole other conversation, Michelle.
Well, exactly. So who did you come up with, lovey?
Well, I'm going to jump in with two if I can.
Yeah, sure.
Because you'll see why, because they go together, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking of Woody and Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story.
Oh.
Now, we all know that Woody and Buzz didn't always get along very well when they very first met. There was a little bit of animosity, a little bit of jealousy going on, and perhaps they didn't really appreciate where the other one was coming from. So what I'm proposing is that Woody needs to go into Tomorrowland. Now, in an ideal world, but this kind of infringes the rules, he should go on Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. But technically, he can't do that because that's related to the film that he's in. So, Space Mountain.
Ooh.
He needs to go and experience something spacey so that he can understand what it's like to be Buzz. See where I'm going with this? And then Buzz needs to go into Frontierland and ride something like Big Thunder Mountain. In fact, he could go on all of Frontierland. I would love to see Buzz Lightyear in the Country Bear Jamboree. That would be hilarious. Can you imagine what you would make of singing bears? How cool would that be? So I think it's just a case of they would get a greater appreciation from where each of them come from, a better understanding that would enhance their friendship and move it on to new levels.
Can I just digress at one point? How fun would it be to have a Toy Story makeover of Space Mountain?
Oh, never thought of that one before, Michelle.
And you can sort of, the little bit at the end of the first film, and he's in the little remote control car trying to catch up with the van.
Yeah.
That's the story that I would have. So all the way through the queue, that's the story. And then you get into the remote control car and you're trying to catch up with him with all the swervy bits.
Yeah, and then you could have the claw coming down and all the little aliens all over the place go, woo.
Yeah.
Are we going to patent this, Michelle?
I know.
If Disney's listening, we need some reward for this.
You see, this is why I should be an Imagineer. HireMe.com now.
Yeah.
Go on then, who's your second one?
Well, that was it. That was the two of them, you see. It's Woody and Buzz, because it wasn't just one character, it was two, wasn't it, you see?
Okay.
Kind of snuck in there.
All right, well, I'm going to go with another one.
Right.
And another film that's really dear to my heart is The Aristocrats.
Okay, yeah.
And I kind of like... I like Marie because she's such a lady.
Yeah.
Okay. And for me, obviously the attraction that she would absolutely endure would be the carousel. But, because she's all prim and proper and such a girly and, oh, mama, when she falls off the truck and, whatever. And she's getting Thomas O'Malley to save her again. Well, I'd also part of me would think, well, she does miss out on the fun. And I'm sure taking her on some high-volume, indoor swerving, curving, upside-down fun of Rock and Roller Coaster might get a little bit of girliness punched out of her and make her man up a bit.
Get a bit more girl power.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I've got 2 more. And these are stretching things a little bit because they're not really Disney characters.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but when I grew up watching Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yeah.
Catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon.
pigeon.
Well, obviously, I'm going to take them to Animal Kingdom.
To catch the pigeon.
Yeah, and they're basically going to go and see the new bird show based around Up.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, they were hopeless at catching the pigeon.
Yeah, they never quite managed it, did they? Yeah. Bless them.
So let's have a little bit of edutainment by going to go and find out some birdie knowledge. And you never know, they might be having pigeon pie by tea time.
No.
And then my last but not least, Rick from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
That man has seen some trauma. He's seen his wife die. His son then kill his wife when she was about to turn into a zombie. Was it his son who killed her?
I don't know. I don't watch The Walking Dead.
All right. And then, now, his beloved son, Carl, has popped the old clogs as well in a very drawn-out, boring episode. I'm sorry, I didn't like it. So,
okay.
I think he needs some glitter and cuteness back into his heart because his heart's gone very, very dark and black.
Okay.
You know, where else could I take him but to It's a Small World? Because boy, oh boy, he'd come out of there with glitz and glam in his heart again.
Either that or be completely doolally.
Well, he'd be probably asking a walker to turn him into a bloody zombie, won't he?
I'd say that would be the kill or cure, wouldn't it, really?
Absolutely. I thought that was fun. Listeners, please, friends, let us know what you think. Have you got an attraction you'd like to take a Disney character on and why? Let us know. We'll post something along the Facebook page over the next week, but you can always message us and we'll share some of your answers.
Yay.
So the next challenge I thought I'd set, Jayne, and this is one we've not done for a while, was dining on a budget, because we all know Disney is getting to be a more expensive thing to do. No longer can you go and spend $5 and have park entry, food for the day, and enough money in your back pocket to buy yourself an In-N-Out burger later. Jayne, how little can you survive on in Walt Disney World for the day?
Probably not very much, actually, if I think about it. Because I'm pretty good at the moment. I am. If I have a good breakfast, I can go pretty well, actually, most of the day. So, you know, I could probably survive on a couple of frozen margaritas and I'd be well happy. Does that count?
Well, if you want to have liquid benefits, that's totally be fine by me.
Well, I suppose, you know, I mean, I could stop for some nachos or something, you know, around about Mexico, because that would be in keeping, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
And then, you know, and I could have maybe a school bread, just a bit of sweetness as I stagger around. The only problem is that if I do that route, I have a tendency that once I've actually had something alcoholic, it tends to open up my purse strings in shops. So it might be counter defeatist if we're trying to eat on a budget if I had alcohol, because I then might go and spend what I've just saved in Mouse Gear or somewhere.
So come on, what are you spending your money on?
I would, in all seriousness, if I'm in Epcot, and I'm going to stick to Epcot because that's where I've joked about, I do like the Mexican side of things. So over at La Cantina de San Angel, that's not very well pronounced, is it? No. Excuse my Spanish, my Mexican, whatever. I do like the nachos over there, which $11.25. I know is not mega cheap, but I have been known to share them.
You're still going to be charged at that $11 price though, love.
Yeah, but I've got somebody else going halves with me.
True, but it's still $11 that you'll be paying for them.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's fine. So I'd have those. It depends then, obviously, because the margaritas, you know, they're not exactly the cheapest thing. To be fair, the mango is coming in at the cheapest, I think, just double checking, and that's $10.50.
Okay.
Which, you know, I could survive on one, perhaps, but it might be better just to stick to some water, because that isn't going to cost me anything, because I'll have my bottle with me and I'll just fill it up from somewhere, won't I?
True.
And then that way I could go and have a school bread, because they're only $3.49, aren't they?
They're a very, very cheap snack to have.
And could have a ice cream depending on how I was feeling. But no, I'll probably go for the school bread. So really, I could, if I avoided the alcoholic, I could have a savoury and a dessert for just about $15, which is not too bad.
That's good going. But are you not having anything else?
No, I could survive on that for the day.
Okay, well, I think you've done better than I have on the money, because I've sort of gone a little bit overboard.
Oh, crikey.
But I think I've been very economical, and I've gone to Disneyland, not Walt Disney World, because I thought I'd give a bit of balance.
Right, okay.
So I'm going to start my breakfast at the La Brea Bakery in downtown Disney.
Right.
And I'm going to have bread pudding with caramel sauce for $9.
Okay.
Because my rationale is I don't normally eat bread, but if it's in a pudding, it doesn't count. And if I have carbohydrates at the beginning of the day, I'll have worn it off by lunchtime.
Okay.
So do you like my rationale for the bread there?
I could possibly live with it. You know my feelings about bread, but hey.
I know, but it's bread pudding. Technically, it's got egg in it as well, so it's got protein in. And caramels and banana is good for you.
Is it?
Well, when Michelle tells herself it is, yeah. So that's my breakfast. I've got a really good, nice lining on my tummy, and I'm going to be surging around Disneyland, burning it all off. And at some point, I'm going to get a bit of a rumble in the tumble.
Mm.
And again, I'm working on this. Carbs before lunchtime are okay because I'm on holiday.
Right.
So I'm going to get a snack of some Mickey beignets from the Mint Julep bar.
Okay.
And they're $4.49.
Mm.
And they come with free 2.5 pounds of icing sugar. So they're a bargain.
Yeah, they are a good price, to be fair.
They are a good price, and they're very, very filling. 3 beignets for under $5.
Mm.
So at this point, I will be all carbed up.
Overloaded, I would have thought, then.
Yeah, true. So I'm going to have to walk around the park 67 times to burn all this carb off. And I'm a little concerned my protein count is a little bit low.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm going to go to the Plaza Inn.
And what are you going to have there?
I'm going to go with 1 piece of chicken. I'm not going to order a meal. I'm just going to go to the counter and say, can I have 1 piece of chicken, please? And I want a nice breasty piece. And you can get the proper dinner for about $18. But if you get 1 piece of chicken, it's about $6. And that's all I need.
And they'll do that for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You could just get, if you want, you can just get the green beans, or you can get the biscuit or a chicken. So if you want a smaller version, and then there's also the kids' version you can have if you want all the accoutrements. But I just want the chicken for the protein.
Yeah.
So
the good stuff.
Yeah. After I'm all proteined up, I'm going to go probably on Splash Mountain about 8-9 times and, zoom around the park. But I might get a bit chilly, especially if I'm waiting for Fantasmic to play.
Ah, yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm going to go over to the Harbour Galley and I'm going to get myself one of those big bread bowls and have it filled with clam chowder.
Ooh.
Chowder.
Mm.
We don't get chowder in the UK. I just love that word. It's chowder. I love it. And clam chowder is seafood, and seafood is protein.
True.
So, yeah, that's just under $11. So if I add all that up, I've kind of managed to spend less than $30.
Still not bad going, Michelle.
I think I've done pretty good there, Jayne.
Yeah. And good variety as well.
True. I am a little bit upset that I have gone a bit heavy on the carbohydrates. But
yeah.
You wanted to go heavy on the margarita, so each to their own.
So I'm going to say we're about even there then, aren't we, really?
Yeah. If only they had a margarita testing place like they have of the Coca-Colas.
No, probably not a good idea, to be fair.
Well, there'd be very poorly people in Epcot.
I think they'd have to limit it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd have to have like a handstand system or something, going on, because I think otherwise it would, disaster would lurk.
Don't you think that would be a good idea anyway, where you could go and pay X amount of money and you can go and get little different shots of different types of margarita?
Yeah, I suppose you could do some sort of like little card system or whatever. So you pay X amount and that entitles you to so many tasters or whatever. And then even you could extend it, couldn't you, around the Epcot World Showcase perhaps, and it might include certain beverages and certain pavilions. Perhaps that's another way to do it.
Yeah, true. That's another idea we're selling off to Disney.
Hey, that's two on one show, Michelle. Come on.
We're doing well. Anyway, let's move on because I've got another feature for us here, Jayne.
Right.
Our final feature. Today is a very special day. It's mine and Jayne's favourite festival of the year called Let's Eat as Much Chocolate as We Physically Can Day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dismiss all that religion side of it because I do know that there is a religious viewpoint of it, but come on, guys, this is an edutainment podcast, not a religious podcast, so let's just put the religion away and we're here to entertain you, and we want to entertain you with the most wonderful, delicious, delectable chocolate offerings you can find in a Disney theme park. And we're going to play who's got the better chocolate dessert or snack item.
Okay.
What's your opening gambit, Jayne?
My opening gambit, see, I'm not very good when it comes to chocolate at Disney World, I have to admit, because chocolate and heat don't always go together for me. So it's a bit of a strange one, because you know me, Michelle, I do like my chocolate, and I do like my really dark chocolate as well, which is another little foible that you're not always going to get at Disney World as such. I mean, the Mickey bar goes without saying, doesn't it, really? But I'm going to go over to Epcot. I'm going to the American Pavilion, and it's going to be the cookies and cream funnel cake.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So this has got your sugar, your vanilla ice cream, and then crushed cookies and chocolate sauce, and that's $11.50. Because you can't beat a bit of funnel cake, and if it's got a bit of chocolate on top as well, then it's kind of a win-win in my book.
Absolutely. Well, Jayne, I can up that. I've got a better chocolatey funnel cake for you.
Right.
If you go to the Stage Door Cafe in Disneyland, they make house-made funnel cake, chocolate brownie edition.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
$7.49 for instant chocolatification.
Hey, it's cheaper than mine.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Disneyland is cheaper.
Yeah, true.
So I'm going to up your funnel cake.
Right.
And I'm going to up it with Ghirardelli.
Right.
Okay. And there's several things I want to mention about Ghirardelli.
Okay.
Firstly, it's the only one on the list that gives you chocolate for free.
True, yeah.
So if you sort of take with you a change of outfit and a wig and a hat and sunglasses, you can keep going round and round and round and just basically have 20 chocolates, before they twig that you're an imposter. But I have got some top tips from here. The Painted Ladies Midnight Reverie, where you can have Ghirardelli chocolate ice cream, lead made with handmade dark chocolate hot fudge, Ghirardelli mini dark chocolate chips topped with whipped cream and an intense 72% Twilight Delight chocolate sauce. Chocolate for $11.95.
Well, can I just jump in there, Michelle? Because one of my choices was actually in that range, because they do this range, don't they, of intense dark sundaes. And I'd picked out the Espresso Escape.
Ooh.
Because that's got coffee, it's got espresso chip ice cream, again with that dark chocolate fudge and that 72% chocolate as well. Because I thought, coffee and chocolate, that's ticking my boxes.
Thought you'd like that one. How about a cheap option, Jayne, if you don't want one of those ginormous ones? Now, on the menu, you can get a scoop of ice cream for $4.75 and you can have it in a cup or a cone.
Yes.
They also have on the menu dark hot chocolate fudge sauce.
Right.
And it's $1.50. So you could put that with the ice cream.
Yes.
Okay, and I've done that before and they're happy to do that. But if you just wanted the chocolatey goodness, I haven't tried this and I want someone to go and try it. But could you just order a serving of hot chocolate fudge sauce for $1.50?
Well, if they're selling it, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to buy it, surely.
I think that, really good chocolate fudge sauce as well.
Yeah. We see, I'd also got down their chocolate brownie. So how about a $4.95 chocolate brownie with your serving of chocolate sauce? Hot fudge chocolate.
Oh, Jayne.
Again, this is our third good idea of the show, Michelle. What's happening?
We know our chocolate and we know our snacks, Jayne. That's what's happening. I've done my Ghirardelli. What are you going to top me with?
See, I've kind of exhausted my chocolateness, except for one thing, but it's not really a Disney thing.
Go on.
Well, I discovered many, many, many years ago on one of my first visits to Disney World, the Milky Way Dark Midnight. We don't get these over here. And for our UK listeners, it's not a Milky Way as we know a Milky Way. It's more like a Mars bar. The nougat bit's a bit lighter, and it's covered in this really nice dark chocolate. And it is my one little indulgence whenever we go to the States that I kind of have to search these out. Now, we can get them here in the UK. My daughter bought one for me, bless her cotton socks, on one of her little shopping trips, and it's still sitting in my fridge waiting for me to indulge at some moment in time. And it cost her £1.69 for a little bar of chocolate. The problem with this, Michelle, is because you asked me to research these things for this lovely show, I happened to go on Amazon, didn't I?
Oh, Lord.
Thankfully, I didn't buy them, but you can actually buy 6 of these bars for £8 on Amazon. I have resisted so far, but it is Easter. I may have to succumb at some point.
Oh, lovely.
But they are lovely if you like dark chocolate. And
Okay, well, let me tantalise your taste buds, Jayne, with a few more chocolate items.
Go on then.
When I had this brief that we were going to talk about it on the show, I had to include all my favourites.
Okay.
People who know me know I love the Raspberry Rose Mickey Macaron
yes.
from Jolly Holiday. Well, if you go to l'Artisan de Glacé in Epcot, France, they have a macaron ice cream sandwich.
Ooh.
So if you get the chocolate macaron with chocolate ice cream, under $5, you've got a marriage made in heaven.
Nice, yeah.
So I thought that was a quite good one. And something else that Disneyland introduced me to are the wonderful cashew or pecan patties, which some people also know as turtles.
Yes.
And it's basically a blob of caramel with nuts, and then in the middle a really big, chunky, solid dollop of chocolate with a Mickey head put on it.
Nice.
They are divine. If you like chocolate and nuts to me is even better than chocolate and coffee.
Yeah, well, we'll have to agree to disagree, because I'm not a big nutty person, so you can have the nut stuff. Yeah. I'll stick to the coffee stuff.
Okay. And you can also, at Main Street Bakery, get things like the chocolate chunk cookie with the peanut butter. Oh. And if you want to pretend to be healthy, and this is one for our friends over at Diz Down Under, you can get the chocolate-covered pineapple.
True. Actually, I would kind of go for that. I do quite like the sound of chocolate-covered pineapple.
Yeah. Another one I've got is the new item that's been on the Satuli Canteen menu. Well, when I say new, it's been on nearly a year now.
Yeah.
And it's the chocolate cake, which is like a little dome. It's got a crunchy cookie bottom and banana cream topping, and it is such a lovely hit of chocolate. Oh, and chocolate and banana are a marriage made in heaven again.
Yeah, I'm always a bit dodgy. I mean, I like banana loaf and banana cake, but again, banana cream I'm not a big fan of.
It's not overly strong, Jay.
No, okay.
Some of the things I'm thinking about, amarettes.
Yes, of course, yeah.
They've got a wide range of different chocolate things to tickle your taste buds, but my favourite is the amarettes petit cake. It's $16, 11 layers, consisting of red velvet cake, which is basically red chocolate cake, chocolate cake, cherry mousse, chocolate mousse, raspberry pâte de fruit jelly, and Italian buttercream. And it's just, oh. They also have chocolate coffee cake, so they have something for you.
Ah, cool, yeah.
You can also get 3 covered chocolate strawberries for $6. But the award for the most chocolatey sensation is they have a little hot chocolate shot. And I'm not kidding, it is the most intense chocolate you've ever had in your life. Really rich, to the point of not being able to drink. And you could get that.
Wow.
Not finished.
Oh,
I've saved the best till last.
All right then.
Now, this is so amazing, it technically needs a drum roll.
Okay.
If you want the most chocolatey item that is a snack in a Disney theme park, you will be going to Starbucks at Hollywood Studios.
Right.
You will be ordering the chocolate cupcake that we all know and love, called the Butterfinger. Chocolate cupcake base with a chocolate fudgy centre, topped with soft marshmallow, encrusted in a crisp chocolate layer, and that chocolate layer's encased in Butterfinger crumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Under $6, need a friend to share it with. Give me a text.
Well, I would do, Michelle, but it might be a bit of a long way to share it.
Well, true, but oh my, it is huge.
Yeah, good value.
Honestly, with the butterfingery bit and the marshmallowy bit and the chocolatey bit, it's just the most intense chocolate party on your tongue. And I posted this on our Facebook group, and we had a few top tips.
All right, okay.
Good friend Wendy, lovely Wendy Cooper, she sent me a message saying that, well, over at Sprinkles, you can get a shot of frosting under $2. So if you just want literally a shot, perfect.
Okay.
Many people said this. You know those tiger tails that are like marshmallow ones?
Yeah.
Dipped in chocolate and sugar?
Right.
So the likes of Kelly Muggleton, Victoria McNulty, Sue Gallagher-Hurt all said that.
Right.
Gal Disney raved about the ganachery. Now, I've only been there once.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's a real difficult place to go to when you're in there in August, because the minute you get outside the shop, your produce will melt.
Yes, that's a problem, isn't it? I think it's why I've tended to avoid chocolate in hot temperatures, because of that element of, if you're not in an air-conditioned environment, it doesn't really survive.
Dorit Napolitano said, how about a Ghirardelli espresso milkshake?
Oh, yeah.
And Simply Said by Katie Mason, a Mickey Premium Bar.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the classics, is there?
Nothing at all. Can't beat it. Very well said, Katie. Thank you, everyone else, for your wonderful comments. I am going to come back to this because we want to have a look at some of the dessert offerings that the restaurants offer. So if you know of an amazing chocolate dessert that you can get in a Disney theme park restaurant, why not get in touch? Drop us an email, info@disneydreamgirls.com, and your description could feature on the very next show.
Ooh.
Now, our next show is going to be a fantastic trip report you will not want to miss. The wonderful Paul Barry from Window to the Magic went over to Walt Disney World, and he shares his trip with me with lots of top tips and details about his fantastic time, 3 days in Walt Disney World.
Oh, I look forward to that one, Michelle.
Yeah, it was a great little interview, absolutely fantastic. But I think that's going to put a close on this week's recording. I hope we've entertained. I hope you're going to go try out some of these lovely new snacks. If we've missed your favourite, get in touch, let us know. And I hope you've enjoyed our April the 1st show. No April Fools this year, so sorry. We might have to think about that for next year. But until next week, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.